sweet pea. On an icy morning, a sweet pea said, "Hello." I asked him where he's been all year, and he said, "Lying low. I have to bloom when all is dull. It makes me feel so wonderful. I'm glad that you are here to see. I am the sweetest pea."
Welcome to an interview with a live poet. That's me. I'm going to interview myself because I have no idea how to talk about myself. What's your name? Janetta Sophia. How old are you? 66. Any children? 2 boys and a granddaughter of 9 years old. Taking after her grandmama, I should say. That's me. What is your hobbies? I'm a poet. What does that mean? I have no idea. I don't exist. The world around me exists. That's why I am. I can only see myself in whatever is next to me, the moments, the experience, especially the sounds. I cannot see. I haven't got vision, but I can hear everything. At this moment I can hear. Maybe that will be your next question. Any pets? That's my budgie. My cat is sleeping on the chair where I wanted to sit when I was going to interview myself. So there's my cat and my budgie. Those are my pets. There's also a dog close by named Ringo that I feed every morning when he asks me. And when I tap him, he's so happy, wagging his tail. In short, this is me. I exist from moment to moment. It's very hard for me to think too much ahead. I cannot plan because I don't know what the day will bring. All I know is that when I wake up in the morning and I hear the birds, that I should tap into that energy that is absolutely for free. The wind, nature out there, that's my energy. That tells me that I exist. That gives me a feeling of existence, of happiness, of uncertainty, and sometimes even some sadness. When I listen to the news, I feel sad and I cannot understand why the human race is so concerned about what other people think of someone. I don't think anything of myself because I can change that with my thoughts. Why is it so important to be important? Why should people know about you? I cannot understand it because I'm in a fleeting moment on this earth. It can go away any moment. And what was all the fuss about? How important I am. For me to experience the moment and those around me is so precious. And to capture these moments with nature and very special people that I come in contact with, it's so special that I try to contain it in words. And these words in which I capture these moments, these emotions, need to be pure and not tainted with trying to impress the people out there how I can write poetry or even my humble little stories that I tell children. I am not so important. It's what I try to understand from life to make sense to me that I try to share out there in simple words. I do not use the views of the academic in my mother tongue, in my language. English is my second language. I'm not even speaking it very well. But when I write poetry in English, the poem is in control. And the poem is so beautiful, even in my second language, that I yield to it. And in so much honesty, I can present this simpleness of explaining an emotion, even in a second language. When I write poetry, I'm so humble. I've said that word a few times, but that's how I look at life. Everything around me are much, much bigger than me. I feel it's my responsibility to share my poetry with whoever wants to read or listen to it out there. And I'm also planning of producing a modern way of sharing my poetry, because I have a responsibility to use the techniques out there, the social media, and I'm working on that. And even if I do not tell the world who wrote these poems, even if I cut off my pseudonym, I don't even want to mention my pseudonym, because it's not important, because it's not about me, it's about the poem. The poem speaks for itself, not me. And even if someone will find a poem that I wrote over all these 30, 40 years, they will find the emotion inside the poem, not about the person. I was asked once, what do I see is poetry? A poem to me is an emotion. I am the poet. I take off all the flesh from this emotion. I scratch off all the details of flesh and human recognition of this emotion until I only have the skeleton of the emotion. When I have the skeleton of an emotion, I put it out there in the world, and then someone who reads the poem can put their own flesh around the emotion. My wish for the world is that they should look from the heart and not just look with their eyes, because my experience is that people with full sight and full eyesight are so lost out there. They're running in circles because they see too much. When you take away your eyesight, you are limited to experience the world through listening and the reaction and the tone of voice of other people. And then you will look at things with your heart. And that's where I would like to say that I am blessed to be blind, because that forced me to look at life with my heart. And I'm trying to share or to teach the world out there to look from their heart, so they do not have to take out their eyes to experience this wonderful world of pure emotions that's out there in the human race. And don't forget the animals, the dogs, the pets, the budgies, and never the birds. That's my inspiration. what comes through my ears makes me what I am, not what comes through my eyes.
A flower I bring to you in poetry, a flower called equality. It needs some water and some peace. Let's grow it for our children, please. My golden friend, maybe you did think of me, maybe you just let it be. Maybe in your busy day you had little time to pray. But you are always not too far, much closer than the nearest star. In darkness I still find your hand, for you are true, my golden friend.